Men of Reddit. What are some mistakes women make during sex? Girls, listen, it's all about the downstroke. That's like penetration. Penetration equals good. Upstroke isn't the same. Upstroke is withdrawing. Upstroke equals not good. So please don't yank on it like a lawnmower. Ya ain't gonna start nothing that way. I was wearing a condom and my ex thought it'd be funny to stretch the reservoir tip and let go like a rubber band. Wasn't all that funny, IMO. Yes, one time a girl asked me to come on her but I was wearing a condom, so I attempted to pull it off fast so I could oblige her. Well shit. I stretched it about 3 feet before it slipped out of my grip and snapped right on the head of my dick at the exact moment I came. Y'all never want to feel your jizz get forced back into your pee-pee hole. Trust me on that. My balls are not stress toys. Please don't squeeze them so hard. Please don't ever just stick a finger up a man's ass. Everyone's foreign policy is different. Then consider my port international waters. I can tell when you are giving me a pity and it's a total turn off. If you don't want to do it then say so. Don't try to discreetly insert your finger in my asshole. We know what you're up to. If you want to try it just ask. Greetings sir. May I insert my finger in your asshole? Kind regards. Here is the asshole. As requested. Kindly do the needful. Best. Lifting her hips up at the wrong moment, causing my thrust to re-target the exit lane. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Putting their thumb in my butthole and saying who's a cute little thumb warmer. Yes you are. Yes you are. This story pretty much sums it all up. Don't surprise men while having sex. Buckle up guys. Because you're in for a story. Several years ago, seeing a local girl and she's at my place. Lovely evening moves on to some light kissing, some touching, and pretty soon we're naked. I'm lying back on my bed. She's down using her mouth on me. Now being the gentleman that I am focused on holding in a fart. I could leave and head to the bathroom, but she's seriously good so I'm just putting all my energy on keeping that fart inside me. Nothing too difficult. I can handle this if I keep my attention away from how great her mouth feels and focus on keeping my ass shut. After a while of fantastic tongue action, she looks up at me from between my legs and says, "Don't worry." Now up until now I hadn't been worried at all. I was enjoying this evening. I was fully aware of the situation, and I had absolutely no cause to worry about anything. But now she told me not to worry. I started worrying. I started worrying a lot. What was she into? Now, what I would like to say happened next is this. She gently eased a very well lubricated thumb slowly inside my back passage, while keeping me in her mouth, and treated me with care and dignity. That did not happen. This happened. She said, "Don't worry." I started worrying, and then within a second, she rammed her thumb up my ass. Deep and dry. It felt like sandpaper being parted by a cheese grater. The shock of having a thumb forced inside me with the force of 1,000 suns caused several things to happen. 1. I screamed. 2. I half sat up. And 3rd and possibly worst, I released the fart I was holding, which was not, as she suddenly discovered, a dry one. Her thumb was fully inside me and I released my clenched sphincter to allow the deep rumbling liquid hell forth. Picture what happens to the water when you put your thumb over the end of a hosepipe and spray it into the air, then replace water with shart, hosepipe with my ass, and the air with her face. She, understandably, jerked hard backward from the brown spray. However, in doing this, she pulled her thumb straight back out of me. I clenched harder than a camel's eye in a sandstorm, and then for some reason, came. She screamed, and ran to the bathroom and turned the shower on. I fell back onto my pillow smelling of sweat. *T and cum. We don't talk anymore. Treating my dick like a trampoline when on top. It's easy to get carried away, I get it, but in the blink of an eye, I could lose all I hold dear to me. Work in an reverse cowgirl is a death trap. Leaning back too far when on top. Some dicks aren't that flexible when fully erect. If I'm starting to sit up when you lean back, it's because my shit's about to break off. Mine just pops out. Lil Dick Gang. Faking pleasure. If something isn't working for you, let the guy know. If he thinks he's doing well, He won't change anything. If you let him know what you like and don't like, he will change. Most guys get a lot of satisfaction from your pleasure. Quit asking, "When are you going to come?" Seriously, it's now going to take longer because I'm thinking of a response. Not exactly during, but expecting guys to always initiate. Want your guy to feel desirable. Don't want your guy to worry that you're just sleeping with him every now and then to shut him up. Jump his bones. I'm so tired of this. It's not only the man's job to keep your sex life alive. If you can't remember the last time you suggested sex, believe me, your man does. And you're gradually eating away at his self-esteem. I realize this isn't a gender-specific thing. As a guy, I've only experienced the issue through that lens. If you can't remember the last time you seduced your wife, you need to put more effort into the assumption that just because they're there we should be rock hard. We need some warming up as well sometimes. Asking for payment after the sex. I went out with a girl from the Tinder last week. After the date we were making out in my car and she ended giving me a blowjob. After, she asked me, "How much are you gonna give me?" I was stunned. I stuttered that I didn't had any money and she replied, "Haha, you idiot. How much?" Rating 1 out of 10 for the BJ. We cracked up afterwards. I always struggle to come, so any girl that actually accomplishes it has a 10 in my book. She took it in the mouth and spat it out of the window. She took it in the mouth and spat it out of the window. Who says romance is dead? The guy who stepped in it. Tugging on my dick at near relativistic speeds does not equal a hand job. Had it happen once and it was very unpleasant. The penis is very sensitive, especially near the top, so just moving your hand a little is enough. Ever been with a girl that just lays there? Yeah, that. When you're giving a handjob, you're not milking a cow. Don't death grip it. Don't death grip it. Especially because she will never match my own death grip. Don't make fun of me for being vanilla while in front of friends and then come home and lay there like an embarrassed fish when I suggest something dirty. I feel like I've vilified my partner here. To clarify, she is incredibly sweet and very affectionate. We're both competitive and will often jab at each other in public. We've both crossed a line before and have talked about it. She had done this a few times before I finally told her it was hurtful to say that, especially in front of others. The constant yodeling. RIIICOLLLAAAH. Almost every handjob I have ever received feels like I'm having my penis yanked out of its socket. The correct speed of a handjob is not, and never has been, 4,000 RPM. As a female virgin with autism, this thread is very educational. Don't pretend to enjoy it just for our benefit. If something isn't working for you, communicate. Sex should be enjoyable for everyone involved, and you don't need to appease our ego if you're not enjoying it. Sexual chemistry doesn't always come right away, and the only way it can be built is if partners communicate what they like and don't like to each other. Don't be afraid to tell us what you want. If you don't feel anything in a certain position or angle of insertion, let us know and switch it up. It has the added benefit of extending our stamina when switching positions. Positive reinforcement can go a long way. Easy with the bouncy bounce during reverse cowgirl. Penis isn't meant to fold in half. No enthusiasm. Also too much enthusiasm and it hits the sidewall hard. Oh that really put me off sex for a while. The main mistake girls make is not listening to my post-sex PowerPoint presentation review. I spend hours on them. Animations. Teeth. Going up too far when they're on top, only to slam back down on your dick when it's out. Been there, felt that pain. Think of a blowjob like sex. Yes, sometimes it's fun to go hard and not stop until climax. But it's also fun, going slow, playing and touching and rubbing, not just sucking non-stop. IMO. On the flip side of this, giving head for a long time is literally painful. It hurts your neck, jaw, sometimes your tongue, and you can't breathe well. I'm happy to make the sacrifice, but damn. Not high-fiving back after sex. Don't expect him to know what you want him to do without any hints or help. No hints. Just tell them what you want. Failure to provide feedback during intercourse. You don't have to scream like a porn star, but let me know if what I am doing is working towards getting you off. It can be non-verbal also. Just move my hand if it isn't quite on the right spot. Squeeze me harder if you want me to go harder. Set the pace yourself. And for God's sake, if you are 30 seconds out, just whisper a tiny, "I'm almost there," so that we don't come up 500 feet short of the runway. Also, if you are in a relationship where sex is going to be a regular thing, then use the post-coitus pillow talk to say what you liked or didn't. All sex should have a brief planning phase and an after-action review. Or at least that's what the army does when they you. Thanks for your cervix. Not doing anything. You ever have a girl up on top come down wrong and bend your dick in half? Because I have. If there is a hell, I know what pain awaits.